What's up, football fans? Steven Andrus here from thelines.com, playpicks.com, getting you ready for Monday Night Football to wrap up Week 6 between the Buffalo Bills and the Tennessee Titans. This game in Nashville, in Tennessee. Bills coming off that monster win last Sunday night against the Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead. The Tennessee Titans looking to do what they did last year, beating the Buffalo Bills in upset fashion. In this video, we will also give you a chance to win an Amazon gift card, so stick around to the end for a chance to do that. But in order to win that gift card, you must be a subscriber here to our YouTube channel. So go ahead, click that subscribe button. Let us know in the comments as well how you are betting this Monday Night Football matchup. And also hit that like button while you're at it. So let's start with the odds here. If you go to thelines.com under the NFL tab, click on the Monday Night Football preview. It'll take you to this page. And you scroll down and you can compare the odds across the different sports books in your state. Over here in the right-hand column, you can see we have an over-under of 53 and a half, depending on which sports book you're at. Buffalo, a minus 250 favorite on the money line to win this game. And the spread, we have sixes across the board, juiced differently slightly no matter where you look. But interesting note here, the look-ahead line on this game was only Buffalo minus 3.5, and now it has gone out 2.5 more points, potentially off of that big primetime win for the Bills against Kansas City. We'll talk a little bit more whether or not that's warranted as this video goes on. We'll also share some prop bets with you as we get going here and let you know what I have in my account for this Monday Night Football matchup. So let's first start with the injury reports for both of these teams. If under the NFL tab, if you go to the game previews, you will find this matchup and you could check out the injury reports for both teams. And for the Buffalo Bills, pretty clean injury report, really. Only a couple of guys there. Brian Cox, the defensive end with an Achilles, and Marquez Stevenson, not even really a factor. He's a wide receiver. He's out, but he's not a guy that plays. Tennessee is the team that we need to talk a little bit more about. Look at all of these injuries for Tennessee. And let's start with the wide receiver position. A.J. Brown has been dealing with some soft tissue injuries all year. He is going to play, but the reports are that he's not going to play a full snap count until later in the season. So keep that in mind if you were thinking about betting some overs for A.J. Brown. He's going to have to be hyper efficient to hit what you are used to seeing for him from his previous big season a year ago. Julio Jones as well is back for this one. He is not even on the injury report, I don't believe. No, but he had been dealing with a hamstring injury. He was out last week, but he is in for this game as well. So good news there. Fun note here, Tennessee's punter, Brett Kern, is out with COVID-19. So let's see if the Titans have some extra special teams fireworks on Monday Night Football. And one other note, Derrick Henry's backup, the pass-catching running back Jeremy McNichols, is questionable with an ankle injury. So let's go back to our Monday Night Football preview here and talk a little bit more about this matchup. And you guys can read along there if you want. And while you're doing that, I will share some of the analytics I'm looking at for this game. When Buffalo has the ball, obviously, Josh Allen is an MVP candidate at quarterback. He's got a ton of weapons at wide receiver, and Stephon Diggs and Emmanuel Sanders and Cole Beasley, and Zach Moss has emerged as a running back who can both run and catch the ball. Their analytics, though, are not elite to start the year. PFF only has them as the number 18 graded offense. The DVOA stats have them 12th. So one thing to note, the DVOA stats are looking at prior performances to start the year, and only 12th. The PFF grade is looking at what their actual players are on the field right now. What are they bringing into this game? And they have them even lower at 18th. One of the issues has been pressure allowed by the offensive line. They rank just 22nd in that category. Their yards per play overall for an offense is just 12th. Their yards per pass is just 21st. Early down success, 13th. And they have been, kind of very efficient on third down this year. They're third in the league in third down offense, which, If you listen to some of the other members of our staff, they were warning you about that with the Los Angeles Chargers before they played the Baltimore Ravens, how much they were relying on third down and fourth down success and posting success numbers on those late downs that were not sustainable. And sure enough, it came back to the mean. It regressed to the mean in a very angry way in a blowout loss to Baltimore. On the flip side, the Tennessee defense, it's not great. It's actually really bad. The Tennessee defense, 27th in DVOA, 18th in PFF grade. Their pressure rate, 15th. Pass rush win rate, 9th. So if they're going to have any chance to keep this game close, they're going to have to try and get some pressure on Josh Allen in this one. And at least on paper, they could be able to do that with a pressure rate better than the Bills' offensive line's pressure allowed. So the issue for this Titans defense has been the secondary. It is not good whatsoever. They are 28th in explosive passes allowed as a defense. So something to keep an eye on there. On the flip side, when Tennessee has the ball, this is a team that's going to rely on Derrick Henry as much as they can. I think what we need to understand is with these passing numbers and a passing offense that is 26th in DVOA, an early down success rate of 15th, pass block win rate of 16th, adjusted sack rate of 31st. So really not great numbers, but a lot of this was a couple of games where the wide receivers weren't healthy. Ryan Tannehill didn't have his full complement of passing options between A.J. Brown and Julio Jones either being banged up or not in games at all. So I find it very interesting that DVOA for their pass offense is 26th, but PFF still grades this passing offense as 9th. So when healthy, this is still a pretty good unit. But they're playing so far what has been an elite defense. Now they've gotten some turnover luck. They are, top 5 across the board in a lot of these numbers. They're number 1 in overall DVOA defense. They're number 1 in PFF graded defense. They are 6th in pressure rate despite only blitzing at a rate that is 28th in the league. But the one maybe devil's advocate argument you can make against this Bills defense is the quality of offenses that they've faced. Now, they did take out the Chiefs last week, although one of those turnovers was a drop pass turned into an interception by Tyreek Hill. But overall, they have played just the 25th toughest schedule of opposing offenses this year. So with a healthy Titans offense, I'm curious, with this number ballooning up to 6, if that's gone too far. So I'm not going to bet it on the pregame line, but if we can get 7.5 early on in this game in the live market, that's going to be a bet for me on the Tennessee Titans, a plus 7.5 or better. Now let's look at the props here in this game with the news coming out that A.J. Brown is nursing that injury and not going to play full snap counts. That makes me curious in the Julio Jones props market because we already saw a game this year with both of them on the field where Ryan Tannehill targeted Julio Jones more than he did A.J. Brown. So let's take a look here. And, some of these markets are a little bit slow to come out for Monday Night Football as we record this now. But for right now, we do have a market of Julio Jones to score a touchdown and a pretty decent price there on plus 145 to score a touchdown for Julio Jones. So that's not too bad. The other guy I'm looking at here is Zach Moss for the Buffalo Bills. And I think the market has been a little bit slow to play catch up that Zach Moss is the number 1 running back for the Buffalo Bills at this point in the season. I think him being inactive with an injury week 1 and a lot of people misinterpreting that as a healthy scratch has really depressed his market. So seeing a rushing yardage line of 42.5, week 3, 4, and 5, he's gone over that number 2 of 3 times. And a rushing attempts number of 10.5, he has gone over that number 3 consecutive weeks. So something to consider there. His receiving yards market, 12.5 receiving yards at FanDuel. He's gone over that number 2 of the past 3 games. In fact, he's had 30-plus receiving yards in 2 of those past 3 games. And a receptions number of 1.5 He's gone over that in 3 of his 4 games. You can see why that's juiced so high there. So something to consider there. Well, another player I want to look at here who has been struggling is Stephon Diggs. I won't say he's struggling, but he's not putting up the monster numbers that we're used to seeing. And I'm curious if the market here is adjusting to that. So receiving yards for Stephon Diggs, lowest prop number here is FanDuel, 81.5. And this is a number that he has only hit once this year in 5 games. He has, had less than 70 yards in 4 of his 5 games, but I think the market is taking into account just how pitiful this Tennessee Titans secondary is. We're seeing reception props here at 6.5, 7.5. So I think this is already baked into the fact that they're facing a pretty tough defense. So I'd probably shy away from these props. But the 2 I like there, I do like Zach Moss to go over his rushing attempts. I do like Julio Jones to score a touchdown in this game at plus 145. And if this live line gets out to more than a touchdown, then I will take the Titans plus the points. So before we wrap up here, chance for you to win an Amazon gift card. You must be a subscriber here to our YouTube channel, so go ahead and click that subscribe button. Predict the final score. Leave it in the comments. If you get the exact score, we will send you an Amazon gift card. We need the score for both teams, though. So how many points for the Titans? How many points for the Buffalo Bills? If you get it right, we will send you an Amazon gift card. Again, you must be a subscriber to win it. Thanks so much for watching. Best of luck on Monday Night Football to wrap up week number 6.